If baseball had a most wanted list, Rickey Henderson might have topped it. Sure, he stole bases like it was his job, but did you know he also had a habit of getting into trouble off the field? Let's dive into the records and his legal troubles. Rickey Henley Henderson was born on December 25, 1958, in Chicago, Illinois. On Christmas night, in an Oldsmobile on the way to the hospital, his 19-year-old mother, Bobbie Earl, gave birth to her fourth child, Rickey Nelson Henley. Though he was born in Chicago, Rickey moved around a lot in his early years, as his mother sought better opportunities for her family. With minimal support from his father, they eventually settled in Oakland, California, after a stint in Arkansas. Growing up in a big family with 4 brothers and 2 sisters, Rickey quickly became a standout athlete in Oakland. He excelled in baseball, basketball, and football, earning a reputation as the next big thing in the city. A real well-rounded fella, his speed was remarkable, making him a dominant football player in high school. Although his dream was to play professional football, his baseball skills were equally impressive. When he finished high school, he faced a tough decision: accept a college football scholarship or jump straight into professional baseball. His mother, knowing his dreams but also recognizing his talent, decided baseball was the better path. She couldn't have been more right. A few months after high school, Rickey was drafted by Oakland in the 4th round. Unsurprisingly, he did really well in the minor leagues, especially in 1977 when he stole 95 bases. His manager, Tom Trebelhorn, was a huge part of his success, since he helped him gain that confidence and lean into that aggressive attitude on the base paths. This was pretty evident in his playing style, am I right? Trebelhorn taught Rickey how to steal bases by studying Lou Brock and watching videos of how pitchers moved. This helped Rickey understand that stealing bases wasn't just about being fast, but much more than that. Lo and behold, this training made him one of the best base stealers out there. Imagine this: the pitcher is nervous. Rickey steps further from first base, and then, in a flash, he's safely on second base. Back in the days of the early 1980s, being an Oakland A's fan meant watching Rickey Henderson turn walks into doubles and doubles into triples. He was flashy, confident, and incredibly talented, making even casual fans excited about baseball. No wonder he had such a loyal fan base. It's true he often seemed distant, especially with those outside the left field bleachers where he chatted with fans. But there was more to Rickey than met the eye. Beneath his confident exterior, he was a complex person with layers that hinted at something deeper, perhaps something that was disturbing. Henderson faced a serious accusation. A multi-million-dollar lawsuit claimed that he repeatedly molested his younger half-sister, Paula Henderson, during their childhood in Oakland. According to the lawsuit filed in Alameda County Superior Court, the Oakland A's starting left fielder, who is often considered the greatest leadoff hitter ever, sexually assaulted Paula Henderson while under the influence of cocaine and marijuana. These assaults allegedly began when Paula was just 8 years old and continued into her teenage years. Paula reportedly suppressed these memories until the year she gave birth to her first child. Rickey Henderson, then 35, issued a statement before a game against Texas at the Oakland Coliseum, stating that the allegations were totally untrue and promising to fight them in court if necessary. In response, Henderson accused his half-sister of slander and invasion of privacy, claiming she is trying to extort money from him. He didn't waste a second before filing these accusations in court papers in Alameda County Superior Court. He asked a judge to keep the details of his half-sister's lawsuit private. He said the accusations have hurt his chances to get endorsements and that they might affect his chance to get into the Hall of Fame. He also said the claims have hurt his family. "I can't explain to my 3 daughters why their aunt would say such terrible lies about me," Henderson said. Paula Henderson said he used his role as a father figure to make her think the assaults were normal. Her lawyer, Dan Horowitz, said he would drop the $3 million lawsuit if Rickey Henderson agrees to go to therapy sessions with his half-sister. If you'd like to keep hearing these insane life stories of your favorite baseball players, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to always stay updated on our latest releases. Believe it or not, that's not the only troubling news that has surfaced involving the baseball superstar. In July 1991, in New York City, Rickey was mentioned in a complaint by a woman named Sandra Salarinatin. She said Henderson hit her in the face during an argument in his hotel room at the Grand Hyatt around 3 a.m. on Tuesday morning. The police said Henderson hit her above her left eye with the back of his hand. Salleranauten had bruises but didn't need medical treatment. It wasn't clear what caused the argument, but both had been drinking, said Sergeant Tina Mormon. Salleranauten's husband called the police after the argument, though it's unclear if he was there during it. He claimed Henderson hit her after she said no to having a physical relationship with him. But surprisingly, Henderson wasn't charged with anything. He was staying at the Grand Hyatt with the Athletics at the time. Later that day at Yankee Stadium, Henderson denied hitting Salleranauten and signed autographs before the game. Henderson said he was at the Grand Hyatt's bar with Salleranauten and her friend. He said he and Oakland trainer Barry Weinberg later went upstairs alone and had no further contact with Salleranauten. "I don't really know what happened, so I can't tell my side of the story," Henderson said before the game with the Yankees. "I was at the bar, and Barry and I went upstairs alone. She was drunk and being difficult in the bar," he added. "She was a tall girl, and no one was going to mess with her." A's Vice President Sandy Alderson said Henderson told him he briefly went upstairs with Salleranauten, but assured him nothing bad happened. Weinberg agreed with Henderson, saying, "I went up with him in the elevator, just the two of us. Seems like he's got a real issue with women. It's obvious his public image was shaky at best and downright awful at worst. But his career was a stark contrast. He had one success after another, right from his career's fateful start. He played in the minor leagues from 1976 to 1979. He then began playing in the major leagues with the Oakland Athletics in June 1979. Despite being a right-handed batter, he threw the ball with his left hand. Henderson quickly became known for his speed and usually batted first in the lineup. In his first full season in 1980, he became only the third player in modern baseball history to steal 100 bases in a season, breaking Cobb's American League record of 96 bases. This was the start of 7 straight seasons, where Henderson led the American League in stolen bases. In 1982, he broke Lou Brock's record by stealing 130 bases in a single season, surpassing Brock's 1974 record of 118 stolen bases. He eventually became baseball's greatest base stealer of all time when he stole his 939th base in 1991. Breaking Brock's major league record. By the end of the 2002 season, Henderson had a total of 1,403 career stolen bases. Oakland traded Henderson to the New York Yankees after the 1984 season. He returned to the Athletics during the 1989 season and helped them win the World Series. Naturally, in 1990, he was chosen as the American League's most valuable player, MVP. He hit 28 home runs, scored 119 runs, stole 65 bases, and had a batting average of 3 on 25. By mid-1993, Henderson was traded to the Toronto Blue Jays, where he won another World Series. Clearly, this man didn't know how to quit. Later in his career, Henderson played for several teams: Oakland, San Diego Padres, Anaheim Angels, New York Mets, and Seattle Mariners. He basically went all over the place. And despite his, let's just be real, intense personality, Athletics fans still voted Henderson as Oakland's Player of the Century. Many fans thought Henderson would retire after his success by 2001, but he kept playing. His final major league game was in September 2003, and he played in minor leagues for 2 more years. He finally officially retired from baseball in 2007. 2 years later, he was chosen for the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. According to George Steinbrenner, former Yankees chairman, there was only one Rickey Henderson in baseball. He was the greatest leadoff hitter of all time. After retiring, Henderson stayed in baseball. The Mets hired him in 2006 to teach hitting and stealing techniques. He became first base coach in 2007, but then left in 2008. By 2017, he was working with Oakland as a special assistant to President David Kaval. That year, Oakland named its playing field after Henderson, and in 2018, they placed a statue of him in front of the Oakland Coliseum. Even though he's no longer playing, Rickey Henderson's impact on baseball clearly remains strong as ever.